What's up everybody, how's it going? It's Burke, aka Dansweight here, and welcome back to another premiere episode of the Final Fantasy X Masters Mod by Karifean. Please remember to hit the like button and show the video some love, and I hope you guys have plenty of fun in the chat. Let's get going with this week's episode. Okay my friends, welcome back to another session of the Final Fantasy X Masters Mod by Karifean, and you will notice, of course, that Ochu is gone. That was basically what I got to at the end of the last session, but there was only one problem. Basically, I received an armor, and it had break damage limit on it, which was awesome, but I actually got it for Auron, who was basically the only character up until this point who already had one. And so it was one of those where I thought, this is just not a good idea, I'd rather just redo the fight, and see if I can get anything different. Now, what I learned from this process was that if you get a weapon instead of an armor, it only has Water Eater on it. So that's quite a big difference. If you get an armor, you get break damage limit, and if you get a weapon, you only seem to get Water Eater. Now, I don't know if Karifean has like a chance of break damage limit also appearing on the weapon. I think I got a weapon like twice, and both times they had Water Eater on it. But the next time I got an armor, once again, it had break damage limit and Water Strike pre-applied on it. And this time, it was Waka who received it. Now, honestly, again, at this stage, he's not exactly super close to breaking the damage limit in many cases, but at the end of the day, I wasn't going to sort of just keep doing it over and over again until I got it for the perfect person. And at this stage, I don't even know who that's going to be. Like, Auron already has one, and we'll see if we can get it on a weapon eventually. Like, as in, will I just customize it onto this weapon? Or if I want it for something else? Other than him, I think Tidus probably would have been a good candidate, but honestly, I think rather than Auron having two break damage limit armors, I think just Waka, like pretty much anyone else having one, was already a good idea. So that's what I did, and from here, I'm able to progress onwards. Now, according to the Karifean / Monster Arena Trainer kind of roadmap for the post-game, from here, let me double check this. I originally had it kind of slightly written down wrong. After Crazy Ochu, I had an arrow to Omega Weapon, and it's not quite Omega Weapon yet. He recommends trying to defeat Dark Valefor, Ifrit, Ixion, and Shiva first. So Omega Weapon is supposed to be like a different tier of difficulty compared to those four, and in this mod, if you really try to jump tier levels of difficulty, because literally everything obviously scales up, you defeat a boss to get what you need for the next one. If you're skipping like 4 Dark Aeons worth of AP and potential weapons and equipment, and you're trying to move on to Omega Weapon, it's probably going to be like another order of magnitude more difficult. I don't think it's impossible. We did have a little chat about it, and he said that he doesn't think it's impossible by any stretch, but obviously it's not the recommended route. And the problem with Omega Weapon is that if you try to go there, you will have to do the forced fixed encounters in the Omega Ruins. So the ones that are basically on those sort of platforms as you make your way down to Omega Weapon. And that's been designed to be a part of the experience. You're supposed to run that gauntlet. So the no encounters weapon you get wouldn't work there. And so that's all part of the experience. So what this means is that if you want to try and kind of punch above your weight and go and hunt down Omega Weapon before you're quote-unquote supposed to, you're going to pay the additional penalty of having to retry those fixed encounters every single time before your next attempt. And that's part of the challenge. That's sort of built into it. And so that's really, really brutal. And so if you kind of want to go in like I tend to do and just be like, hey, let's just see what this fight's about and see how difficult it is, Omega Weapon doesn't really play by those rules. And it's going to be incredibly grindy and difficult if you try to kind of access Omega and defeat it before doing some of the other stuff first. And especially I think for like recording and content creation purposes, I don't want to have a whole bunch of like hours spent kind of remaking my way through those fixed encounters just in order to even find out more about the fight or try it. So we're going to go with Karifean's recommendation, and we are officially actually going to start the Dark Aeons in this session. So we are going to begin, of course, with Dark Valefor, and for that, let's head back to Besaid. Thought I'd kind of hang out here for a little bit while I look at the sphere grid, just so we can enjoy the music. Actually, I want to stay on the beach. Yeah, I really like this track. You don't really get to hear it enough, honestly. Okay. Some nice chill vibes while we have a look at the sphere grid. Okay. So, do I just take the level 2 spells here, or do I keep moving? I think I really kind of need to lean into the magic at this stage. Although it will take a while before she upgrades any more magic here. But there is some more HP in this bit. I feel like at this stage I'm increasingly limited in terms of where I can move these characters around. I've already made a few moves, but I have to be increasingly careful. So there's a return sphere. Let me just have another look at, if I wanted to, where could I go? The answer is I could head to Eunice Grid. Honestly, that's not the worst option. Because Riku does have good MP, I've been considering kind of that path for her already. But the fact that she doesn't have any attacking spells is also a little bit annoying. I'd kind of at least like to be able to get this. So I think I'm just going to give her some magic at the least. And it's basically only going to be completely ineffective against Ifrit, at least. Basically, they feel like they'd be useful for random encounters, but we're done with random encounters now. So for actual boss battles, is it really going to help that much to have a Fyra? I'm not so sure. Yeah, so that's the kind of choices that I'm faced with at the moment. There's a lot of big decisions to make here, and we did kind of have a chat with Karifean about it, and in general, Karifean's very good at kind of just being very vague and not giving things away while trying to at least give you some idea of what to expect. And basically all he said was that some of these decisions at this stage of the post-game and like beyond are going to be very important. And you can kind of screw them up. Like there's been a lot of flexibility in terms of you can approach things in a lot of different ways and still get through. But depending on some of the decisions that you make for some of like this stuff, you can end up putting yourself in potentially a more problematic position. And it's going to take some time before we get more flexibility. So right now, what I was wondering was, well, when are we going to get some more level 1 key spheres? Are we going to get level 3 key spheres? Are we going to get a bunch more return spheres or teleport spheres even to like really expand things out? And the answer is, the stage that I'm at right now, the answer is kind of no. So what you do now, like I've got 3 return spheres, and if I, let's say, use them all up right now, there's a chance that for the next, say, 3, 4, 5 boss battles, I can't move anyone to any different sections of the sphere grid. So whatever decisions we make here, like we might have to really live with them. And so I need to be increasingly careful with how I move my characters around here. So that's kind of an important note. Yeah, it's tough because I feel like these with double cast, they gain like more effectiveness and they can definitely help with some damage output. But double cast is of course quite far away. It's all the way up here. So it's like either just grab some magic here, or just already commit to the return sphere and start heading towards Yuna's bit. Like it would be nice to have an extra character with the likes of Dispel, because I can get to Dispel like relatively soon. Dispel, Reflect, Full Life, it's kind of nice, Auto Life, Arga. Yeah, so I'm kind of torn. Like, obviously I could just continue her down Lulu's path, but for her to really become like a strong secondary black mage, I'd have to go all the way out to, you know, these kind of sections. And that's a long way, so... Do I really need more MP for Auron right now? Because I'm going to give up some strength if I do that, if I go up here. I'm going to forego the MP, honestly. I think this is a nice set of stat boosts that I want and will need for the next fight. Okay. For Tidus, I think I was planning to use a return sphere. So I think I want to grab these two first. And then Tidus will be someone that I use a return sphere on. I think the extra MP is definitely nice. Full life. I think these two I don't think are super important. And still, it will take a while before I can kind of go round and then get these, for example. So, let's have a look at this. Yeah, I'd have to do this and then use a level 1 key sphere. And that would then get me onto Waka's grid. So that's option 1. I think Lulu, we keep her on the path. Lulu's one of those where I'm much more confident with where she is. And while you've seen in the crazy Ochu fight, she did really well. But it's already the Dark Aeons, man. I feel like it kind of happened so fast. Obviously, because it's a grind-free post-game, it's basically a boss rush. More so. Like, yes, you have the Omega Ruins in the cavern, but other than that, basically a boss rush. That's insane. So yeah, I'm going to definitely come down here once I get some more sphere levels. Push that magic as high as I can. Kimari. I'm really just kind of abandoning the strength for him. At least he learns a full life. And his magic is definitely starting to creep up now. He's getting up there. 56 is not bad. Yeah, I'm faced with the same choice now. Do I grab more strength or do I grab more MP? Probably a +4. Yeah. I mean, he does have 150 at this stage. I should probably just keep it moving. I'll take the strength. 63, that's getting up there. And Yuna, she was the other one where I had the big choice to make. Yeah, she was kind of locked into her situation here, unless she used something. Well, unless she went into Tidus' grid, which it would help her Aeons for sure, but I kind of don't want to rely on my Aeons outside of like the actual Remium Temple fights. Yes, of course I'll summon them as shields and to do some extra damage and stuff, but I don't want to try and like build them up too much and then have them like try to stay alive through certain parts of the battle and take things on by themselves, etc. Like that's not my goal. So, yeah, this one's tough. Now, moving here is another option. And it's an interesting one because if I do move there, I can potentially like scan Lancet. I can grab like I can get like a quick grab of certain things. And then yeah, the problem with that would be I'd have to use a return sphere to do it. Like to then escape this bit. But I mean it could be interesting for sure to kind of take her around some of these bits. So I could get some HP, I could get some more MP, and then a whole bunch of agility, which would be very useful, and I'd have flare at the same time. Another potential option is to land here. I'm thinking if I don't have flare, but I can cover all 4 of the elements, most things I fight are at least neutral to one of the elements. And it's still like a pretty MP efficient way to do damage, because obviously flare just costs a lot and it has a lot of delay. So if I move here, then I can start to potentially make my way up towards double cast. And that would probably make her a pretty decent backup black mage as well. So it's worth considering. There won't be too much agility there, but she's already fairly quick. So that's kind of option 2. But in order to do that, we would have to use a black magic sphere and a return sphere, which we do have enough. So it's definitely a lever we can pull here to try and give ourselves a better chance. I feel like death at this stage, again, we're done with random encounters, so I don't really need it no more. I'm feeling like this is the play. Maybe for Yuna we should try the opposite and move down towards Ultima instead. Maybe. It'll take me a long time to get there, but I still feel like in many cases even double cast like third level elemental is probably decent. So this obviously means that Riku then can't learn something like Flare or the 3rd level black magic stuff, but obviously you have to kind of make some choices. And Riku's still, I think, she's still an important enough support character that I think it's okay that she doesn't. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to commit to this. And we'll see how it goes. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to return sphere all the way over to here. So we've officially freed Yuna. Getting some more HP. Never a bad thing. I mean, her HP is pretty good, honestly. Okay, over 4,000. Now. I think we gotta still make our way towards double cast. I think that's the play. We'll see how this goes. At least her magic defense will come up a little more too. Accuracy. Okay. And so that kind of seals Riku's fate to some extent. I do feel like taking her back to Yuna's grid. But Dispel and Reflect are kind of on opposite sides, so I have to decide how to tackle that. But then she'd have no black magic. But she can copycat, which might have to kind of just be enough. I feel like I need every sphere level that I can get right now. So another idea is to bring her onto this part of the grid. So I don't have to rely again on my items for Protect and Shell. So I'd have 3 characters that could do it. So I'd kind of bring her here. And using that, I'd be able to get Protect and Shell in one fell swoop. And then we could continue on towards Auto Life. So I think I'm going to try that. Like, Holy is tempting, but then we'll go with that. Definitely going to make a save here. I could definitely regret some of that. But I was generally looking towards Yuna's grid anyway, so I think it's not... it's generally still roughly the same idea, but just starting it at a different point. Getting her some more MP as well, I think is nice. And there's definitely a little more MP on this bit as well. Even more magic. So we're still going to have like copycat opportunities, so I think we can make use of it there. And Tidus. I think at this stage I have enough characters with breaks, honestly. We've got Banishing Blade, we've got full break for Auron, we've got full break for Riku, we've got armor break for Waka, I think, or mental break, or one of the two. So I'm starting to doubt whether it's actually worth bringing him there. I'm kind of tempted by this. Nah, I guess they are like 2s as well. 4, 6. 8, 10, 13 strength. That's not. You could literally already get 8 just by continuing along here. Yeah, this one's a bit tough. Yeah, there's like no agility for a big portion of this grid. Like, nothing here, nothing along here, nothing along here. It's all the way over here. Like, he's not getting any more agility for some time. Like, his agility is good, but I still need him to be one of the best in terms of agility. I'm just a little bit worried that moving him over to this section is going to kind of stunt his agility even more, because obviously Oren's very slow. So I don't know if I want to stunt his growth that much. Obviously I also need strength. So it's a lot of decisions here. Yeah, I think I kind of didn't spot that. Instead of coming down for these, I probably should have stopped like here maybe. And then used 3 more sphere levels to start to come back to this bit. Honestly, feels a little wasteful, but maybe I should start to make my way back to this. I should maybe use it on this. But it's all basically for 1 move, but also 12 strength, that's a lot. But then he kind of has to commit himself to staying on Eunice path, which honestly is not the end of the world, because he would have already got a nice strength boost. And we can always use a white magic sphere to zip down to here and get some of this stuff. So actually, I think he doesn't need the extra magic for now. I'm going to start to move him back. The plan is to come over here and grab this stuff, and then potentially use a white magic sphere to come down here. So we'll have to see how many sphere levels we get, if we can defeat a Dark Aeon, and then we'll go from there. So it took some time. Apologies for that, but these are some of the more like important sections where you have to really think about how you're going to proceed. So I wanted to give it my fullest attention. And well, at this stage, I think a lot of the people actually that watch this material, at least, I think they appreciate the kind of thinking out loud, sphere grid stuff, and the ideas and that kind of thing. So you guys are all like big enough Final Fantasy X nerds at this stage to appreciate that type of content too. I think that's been pretty established. So maybe that was like, I don't know, 15-20 minutes of just like prepping and going through stuff at this stage, but we are going to hopefully get to our first Dark Valefor attempt very soon. I'm going to speed this up. My first concern is obviously, can we even hit it? The answer is probably no, but we'll find out. So I did pick this up, but honestly right now I don't think it's actually that necessary, but we'll kind of keep it in reserve for later. I'm leaning ever closer to basically just giving this one the break damage limit. I mean, why not? I think we probably should. I'll see what kind of damage Oren does, but like, what else could I even replace this with? What would be better than this? You only get 1 shot at triple. I'd rather use a bunch of doubles and then maybe stack it with like a Riku mix or something. You can get 3 of these. Like, basically, you can also, of course, if you really want to try and play that game, you could combine it with this. So you could swap to this, depending on the fight and depending when you need it, and then give yourself another extra ability on this one that isn't break damage limit, since you already have it on an armor. So that's another way of thinking about it, but it might get a bit too complicated, because Oren's so slow. I think he's one character where you can't really play that game of just like swapping weapons around and juggling that kind of thing. I feel like he's just not... He's not that guy. He just doesn't have the agility for it. So I think I'm going to do that. And then we're going to create a different save file here, because we've made a few big changes. Changes that I might have to come back to after trying some of these fights. Let me see. Okay. It's going to be curious for the Dark Aeons, like what kind of statuses can we use? Because of course, at this stage of the game in the vanilla, it's just like your options have basically run out. You can't really do anything. In terms of statuses, it's just like it's just raw damage, you know. But this is the Masters mod, and he's allowed us to kind of continue using a lot of our status effects. So we'll see how it's all going to work. Maybe we can only afflict them through overdrives or some stuff like that, but we'll just have to see. Okay, I think I'm going to largely keep things the same. And we're just going to have to find out what Dark Valefor can do. Okay, my friends, welcome to the Dark Aeons.
Infidel! Prepare to charge!
Infidel! Prepare to charge! Okay. So yeah, of course, you know, it's going to be too difficult for me to remember to call it Crazy Valefor, Crazy Ifrit, Crazy this, but his Karifean's version of these are the Crazy Aeons, not the Dark Aeons, but you have to forgive me for calling them the Dark Aeons. Now, agility-wise, I think he hasn't been too harsh. Obviously, you know, because he knows roughly what stats you're going to have coming into this fight. He's not going to do anything crazy in terms of, like, making it insanely quicker than you. Now, we might as well just ask the question of can we hit it? The answer is yes. That's kind of surprising. Let's throw in our first Sentinel. See if it comes in with energy rate immediately. Hypersonic wings. Okay. What did that do? Oh, wow. Yeah, so I couldn't block it with Sentinel. That's one thing. Let's try and throw in a scan. Can. 320,000, fast and relentless. Its hypersonic wings inflict maximum delay, so don't take it lightly. Poison and brakes can be effective if you can hit them. Okay. Okay, immune to silence. Not immune to dark. I'm going to start to note this down now. I need to get back into that notation mode. So, brakes, poison, dark, I believe. I was going to look at provoke to see if I can always kind of get it to hit the same character, the hypersonic wings thing, but it's immune to threaten, so we can't play any games with that. Dark. Okay. Not immune to zombie by the looks of things. So zombie, also another interesting potential option. I think zombie's going to be quite often an option here, but it's going to come at the expense of you really need to spam, say, like X potions to really do quick and fast damage with them. Because like Curaga and stuff is fine, but it's generally you're just going to do more damage with like black magic and stuff instead. But once again, in true Masters Mod style, we definitely have some options. It's not like, sorry, you can't do anything. So that's pretty cool. Now, let's see. I wonder what happens if you zombify someone who gets hit with hypersonic wings. Now, it's not going to be a great idea. I'm still going to leave him to Sentinel for now. Maelstrom. I everyone's cursed. So we've seen hypersonic wings with massive delay. And we've seen Maelstrom. Looks like gravity, at least animation-wise, and it afflicts curse. What else? Let's have a look. There might be some other statuses we haven't seen here. Okay. And it's some kind of percentage, maybe? We'll see if it uses it again. And then energy ray. Let's see if this is a wipeout. Probably is. Oren will probably survive, but the others will be gone. Oh, no. It did survive. That's a surprise. But again, it's scaling. Like, it's kind of ironic that even though this is a higher difficulty mod, obviously Valefor has way lower stats. But stats are kind of, it's literally all relative. It just depends how it compares. Probably should have brought some more Albed potions, honestly. So it doesn't look like Sentinel's doing much here. Gonna bring in Lulu. See what we can do with her. Let's double cast some bio. And it halves all elements. Okay. Well, okay, fine. I guess it's got full break on it, that's why. And then we'll do a Demi. Okay. And we need to start working on some buffs to try and survive. Wait, Demi did that, like, I forgot that I'm breaking the damage limit now. Holy crap. It's a huge amount of damage. Whoa. That's dope. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Titus has some brakes on him. That's rough. How do we bring him back? He's been delayed, like, that's nuts. So hypersonic wings completely, like, ejects you from the fight, essentially. It's like you're ejected, but not really. That's crazy. So yeah, now we can actually use Riku to put these buffs on ourselves, which is kind of nice. We don't need to rely on Yuna anymore. Yeah, this is trouble. What do we do from here? But now Demi Fury is going to be absolutely insane. So this is basically kind of a mechanic we need to deal with. We need to figure out how to not be detrimentally affected by hypersonic wings. Let's try a Dark Bust. I think this attempt is now gone. The second character's been hit with it, so I think we're in trouble now. We need hypersonic wings to miss. And at least we'll get a feel for how much Energy Blast can do. So this is first attempt is going to be over here. But we're building up a picture already. 4,000. It seems pretty survivable to me. As long as we avoid hypersonic wings, we also have enough turns to actually buff, get some focuses in, all of that kind of stuff. I think we'll have a chance. So I don't think that was too terrible, honestly. Oh god, it starts in the cutscene. Fine. This might not be as good a thing, but let's just have a look. Obviously, he's got a few more tools in place to try and stop you from building up overdrives too easily. Because now, obviously, stuff like Demi Fury is going to be absolutely disgusting in terms of the damage potential. And well, this time, I don't need to do the whole bring Kimari out, use scan, all that business, so we'll have a better chance here. So last time it opened up with hypersonic wings. We're going to try to make sure that doesn't happen now. Let's bring in Waka and get that Dark Buster on there. And again, because we've got the touch weapons, we can make it last a bit longer. It's a crit, I think. Now, I need this to miss. Didn't miss. Yeah, that was what I feared. So it's not going to be as easy as trying to do something like that. unfortunately. Let's haste. Okay. Yeah, now the trouble is that I couldn't get full break on. Yeah. So I think last time I got a little bit lucky with Riku, honestly. So what happens if you put haste on them? Does that bring them back up? So like considering how quick Riku is, Hypersonic Wings just absolutely destroys you in that sense. Delay attack doesn't help that much. Yeah, not looking so good. But I think with things like Copycat and Double Cast Demi, we can really start to crush stuff. That's wild, man. Seeing 50,000 damage from a Demi. That's crazy. So this time it doesn't have the break, so it's going to kill off Lulu and Riku, I think. Okay, maybe just not that affected by it, honestly. So I think in this case, I was going to say it might just be a better idea to kill the character and then bring them back. Whoever gets hit by Hypersonic Wings. Because then it's just kind of tick speed times 3 before they come back. There's far less delay than actually being killed. So maybe that's the way to deal with it, I don't know. Okay. So I think, thanks to that, all I need to really think about is how do I survive the overdrive? Yeah, she's not fast enough to really make quick pockets count, unfortunately. Yeah, I need to see the damage for stuff like Protect and Shell. And I think I need to get those breaks on. So I'm just going to track damage here. It's going to be a bit more of a problem now because obviously it doesn't have the brakes. She actually survived. That's a surprise. Yeah, I think this fight is definitely doable. But Yuna did survive it, like, straight up. That's kind of impressive. Okay, definitely built more of a picture now. Fine. So I feel like Hypersonic Wings, maybe it's a good idea to just let him die. Like, kill him off afterwards. This is a nice quick restart. Alright, what we're going to do this. We're going to bring in Waka. We're going to use aim. Just increase our chances here. And then we're going to go for the full break again. Damn it. So it shows how lucky I got on the first one. Yeah, and you don't exactly get a whole bunch of chances to try it again. But I'm going to put a second aim on. And we're going to try again. Yeah, we got it this time. And I think we survive. Maybe? Just, okay. So now I want to start building some focus. So let's see if we can kind of get back into this now. Okay, good. Ah, she's been armor broken and mental broken. Sheesh. Yeah, okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna double cast Death here, and then Demi here. The idea here being that we're gonna bring Tidus back. Is Auron in haste useful here? Kinda? Yeah, I can definitely start to build something here. It's just like stringing these turns together. I think we showed before that Yuna can just straight up survive this. And she does have Comrade Overdrive mode, so I'm thinking maybe it'll help us here. So with the brakes on, Yuna has like no extra protections or anything. How much damage? Yeah, okay. It's not so bad. So I think Auron's actually pretty chill here in terms of being able to survive against this guy. Now, gonna continue to do this. We need to see if Maelstrom is current HP, maximum HP, what is it actually gonna do? But basically dying and coming back is also helping the overdrives. Hypersonic, this time it's Riku. Fine. Let's just do this. So, same idea again. Gonna kill off Riku. So we're not focusing... Oh shit, she's death proof. Damn it. Yeah, we're not focusing too much on buffs this time. A lot of like death and resurrection here. Yeah, it seems to be half their HP. Okay. Yeah, Riku can't change stuff, so I'm just going to do that and then that. Sorry, Riku. Ah, shit. I think this was a bit much. Her magic defense is very high. Wow, 352. I'm kind of shocked. That's very low. Okay. Let's see. I think again we should start to bring Auron in here. Holy Water to get rid of Curse here, so that we can do some more of this. And not quite an overdrive. Good counter. Good counter. Now. I'm gonna shell here. I think Albed Potion first, although I kind of need like a lot of HP. Just thinking what's the best way to deal with this. This would basically heal up everyone properly. So we'll use one. See if we can keep Riku alive with this. I think if she dies here, it's game over. But okay, at least there's no damage on that one. But it's good as dead, really. So we need Yuna to survive here. Okay, Shell definitely didn't reduce the damage, but survived. That's the important thing. Okay. Is there anyone with alchemy that could do that? I don't think so. If it's energy ray, I think those guys will die. But let's see. I think Kimari dies. No, okay, it's just half of current. Okay. Right, let's get some Dark Buster on here. Then I'm assuming we survive this next move. Doing fairly well so far. Okay. Now. Yeah, they all got a bunch of brakes on. Yuna has a full overdrive too. Definitely use. Let's just do this. I want to bring in Riku, but I'm just worried about Hypersonic hitting Riku here and like kind of wasting our overdrive opportunity. But I'll take a chance. Okay, darkness. Excellent. Okay. Be back. Definitely getting closer here. Just trying to find someone that if they get hit with the ultrasonic, it's the hypersonic, sorry, it's not going to be as big of a problem. It was Lulu. Basically, I'm not sure I want to use like Hyper Mighty Guard or something now because I have to obviously, like Lulu's not going to have a turn now. And well, the trouble with Lulu is that she's very hard to hit, so yeah, she's kind of stuck until she dies. Just make sure Tidus doesn't get killed here. Might have to rely on my physical attackers, and this is why like not having a second good mage is a little bit of a problem. Although she does have quite a lot of MP, maybe it's worth it, but Holy is just so slow that... and she can't break the damage limit, so... I think it's not as useful. Yes, I can summon, but Valefor halves the damage from elementals. Yeah, I've been stuck on this turn for quite some time, not sure exactly how I want to deal with it. Let's just do this for now. That was a good move. Okay. I think I'm going to bring in an Aeon for the next Energy Blast. And then just unleash an overdrive of my own. It's not too bad. Yeah, Lulu getting hypersonicked was just annoying here. Honestly, maybe worth a zombie attack. But I think just normal physical attacks are doing enough damage anyway.
Yeah.
Let's just hold tight and wait. Another miss. Okay. So now I'm gonna attack and then I'm gonna summon. At least I'll be able to see how close I am as well because I haven't scanned this time. And we're gonna trust the fact that Waka's gonna survive here. Who should we bring out? Let's bring out... Ixion has good magic defense. Let's bring out Ixion. Can break the damage limit. I'm kind of curious to see what kind of number we're going to get here. Ah, okay, they can't see either. Shit. Right. I mean, we did a lot of damage with Lulu before her MP ran out. 13,000, yeah, okay. Not great. $2,760, well survived. Would at least take up some poison. Some poison ticks here. That's half the current. More poison damage. Energy Ray. Honestly, considering how little damage Lulu took from it and Ixion's magic defense is high. Yeah. More poison ticks. Okay. Hey, we got like an extra 15,000 damage just from how long Ixion survived there, so I think we'll take that. Honestly, this fight could have been done by now if it was someone other than Lulu that got hit, but it is what it is. Now I do think another hypersonic is on its way. see. Yep. Right. Unfortunately, delay is like not a status effect you can fix. Let's take out Tidus here. Is that going to be enough? It probably won't be enough. Yeah, I just don't want to use any of these other items to do that. So I could get a turn on next one. He does. I think we're just going to use him for that reason. Okay. This is to bring back Tidus. That's the reason for that. Oh, it died from the poison damage. Yeah, and Karifean got revived with 1 HP. This is to stop him from not getting AP. I would have been a bit annoyed. Like, I have the mod on anyway at this stage. That would have been a bit of a shit way to lose it, because I killed him myself. But anyway, there you go. Dark Valefor has been defeated. 3 special spheres. Oh wow. And of course this time I get high spirits, and we get chocobo wings. Oh my god! Auto haste is back on the menu. Let's go! Yes! Get wrecked.
Stay away from the summoner! You're a bad man!
Whoever decided to reuse like those lines is just genius. Full credit. Okay. So, the first Dark Aeon has been defeated in the Masters mod. Honestly, not too terrible. He's kind of easing us into it with those, so that's nice. Now, of course, I managed to get... God damn it. Okay. Slow Strike is kind of nice, though. We'll have to see if anyone's susceptible to it. I'm not going to fight again at this stage. It's all good. Let's leave it as it is. I need to have another look at the Sphere Grid, though. But yeah, honestly, if Lulu didn't get hit with the Hypersonic, we would have done that sooner. She's just really evasive, so I wasn't sure if Waka was going to be able to land the hit. And I didn't want to waste hits like trying to hit her and she evades it and all of that kind of business, so... I think I'm happy with that. Yeah, being able to land the brakes is just huge. Okay, agility coming up for Lulu as well. That's what we wanted to see. And yeah, so my little plan here is to make my way back. Especially for the Dark Aeons, that accuracy is going to be pretty important. So yeah, he'll need 1, 2, 3. Okay. Well, we got special spheres too, so now we can teach double cast, for example. And it's funny because I turned Riku away from that path because I was like, she's not going to learn double cast anyway. But Yuna can. So I wonder if it's worth moving her to Ultima so she gets a double cast Ultima. That could be kind of interesting. And then maybe we get more black magic spheres. I mean, who knows? Maybe magic's a viable strat for Penance now in this mod. Because you could never use magic before against him. But maybe now it's different. So let's have a look at these special spheres. What do we even have available at this stage? Double cast is the obvious one. But there's also things like Sentinel, there's Copycat, there's Quick Pockets. I think I might, for example, teach Riku Quick Pockets. I think that one's a no-brainer to me. So I'm going to go for... I mean, double cast... Like, if you don't have the black magic for it, there's kind of no point. So I think Yuna learning double cast is wise, but... I think for her, like, it feels like a bit of a must to have... Yeah, I'm thinking what else could you do? You could theoretically have a second Sentinel, but no one's kind of built in the same way that Auron is. Now, I guess Kimari could learn a double cast. Maybe. Quick Pockets is just a really valuable skill. It can save your ass. depending on the situation. But it just costs so much MP that I'm never too sure. So I think I'll start with teaching double cast to Yuno, kind of ahead of time. Yes, she's working towards there, but I'd rather just have it now.